Separate the cable gland into 4 components by loosening assembly A from assembly B. Assembly A. Reversible cone. Anyway clamping ring. And assembly B. It is not necessary to dismantle the gland any further. Pass assembly B out the seal nut first, over the cable followed by the anyway clamping ring. The anyway clamping ring cannot be installed incorrectly. If required, an entry thread seal should be fitted over the gland entry thread at this stage. Tighten assembly A into the equipment with a spanner. Determine the conductor length that will be required to suit the equipment geometry and carefully remove the outer sheath and any tapes that are present. This will leave the braid armour exposed. Measure and mark the required braid length. This will vary depending upon the size of the gland being installed. Braid lengths are shown in the fitting instructions. Loosen the braiding by first pulling the ends away from the inner sheath and pushing gently down the cable. Cut the braid to the required length, taking care to ensure the braid formation remains intact. Removal of the braiding will leave the cable inner sheath exposed. Any tapes around the inner sheath must also be removed to ensure the seal is in direct contact with the cable sheath. Insert cone into assembly A. Insert the cable into assembly A, ensuring that the armour is evenly spaced around the cone. Whilst pushing the cable gently forward to maintain contact between the armour and the armour cone, tighten the inner seal nut into the entry component of assembly A. Hold the entry component with a spanner and tighten the inner seal nut until the 2 components are metal to metal and cannot be tightened any further. Trim any loose strands of braid and ensure the braid armour is spread evenly around the cone. Locate the anyway sleeve onto the armour cone. Ensure the braid is in 360-degree contact with both the cone and the anyway ring. Hand tighten assembly B onto assembly A. Using a spanner to hold the entry component of assembly A, tighten the body of assembly B until metal to metal contact is made. Use a spanner to loosen assembly B from assembly A. Once disconnected, it should be possible to see the armour is securely clamped by the anyway clamping ring and the armour cone. If necessary, retrim the braid armour. Hand tighten assembly B into assembly A. Using a spanner to hold the entry component of assembly A, tighten the body of assembly B until metal to metal contact is made. Finally tighten the outer seal nut with a spanner until the seal has clearly formed around the cable and cannot be further tightened without the use of excessive force, or until the outer seal nut and body are metal to metal. The body should be secured with a spanner during tightening.